When we talk about these patterns, the most common by far is the F pattern. This is sort of still thought of as like the industry standard pattern to write around and build a page around. It's the most common that we see when we're doing eye tracking studies. Basically, what readers will do is scan the full first paragraph of the page that you're working with, and then first lines of each paragraph after that. Then they'll kind of scan down the left side of the page looking for index points or something that tells them what is being spoken to in each section of content. And if it's something that looks relevant to them, they'll move their eye inward and read that paragraph that's next to whatever cued them in that they should check this section out. So they'll scan in a shape that looks a little bit like an F. If they're not quite that structured with their scanning, they might use something called the spotted pattern, which is where they engage with graphics, kind of dart from image to button to image to text to header, and just dart all over the page, really only looking at what's visually prominent. This is very hard to design for or write for, so we really want to try and give people a guide through the page so that it looks more like the F pattern. Once people get into spotted pattern, we've kind of lost the ability to keep them engaged. So we want to try and avoid it if at all possible by providing content and landmarks that people can use to scan through the page and find what's relevant to them. The layer cake pattern is really what we're aiming for in a way. They'll read headers, and they might read each and every header on the page, and then just skip over the entire paragraph if it doesn't seem relevant to them. Sometimes that can sound a little sad for people who are developing content and want people to engage with all of their messaging. But the reality is people have learned over time to scan the web for only what's relevant to them. And so we may as well complement that by designing pages that allow them to look at the header, know whether or not the content is relevant to them, and then move on if not. So we're really focused on complementing those scanning patterns more than trying to buck against them or force people to interact with the page in a given way.